There are still 16 minutes remaining to decide who will go to the Class AA championship game tonight. And of course, you can see that right here on the IHSA television network. We'll be on the air tonight at 6 o'clock with Before the Tip-Off, and you'll see a lot of great individual athletes as we take a look at them and some of the highlights that they have put on here at the assembly floor. 30-24 is our score at the intermission. And, you know, getting back to Chicago King and the inability to get it inside, Selvy's only had the ball inside maybe 2 or 3 times, and a couple of times it got kicked back out by the East St. Louis Lincoln defense. East St. Louis Lincoln's playing excellent in their 2-3 zone. Their wing people, Vincent Jackson and Cuonzo Martin, are paying particular attention to Jamie Brandon, where he is on the floor. They're quick to get out to him, but they're also packing in against the strong side hole man. So to keep the ball out of Selvy's hand is certainly of a paramount importance to them. But as we talked before, Jim, for King to be successful, certainly they've got to continue to take the ball inside, not to be intimidated, go to the free throw line and convert, and get the ball into Jamie Brandon's hand. On the other end of the floor, East St. Louis, as it gets down to the wire, has to keep its best ball players on the floor, not to get in foul trouble, and take care of the basketball, because they've demonstrated the inability to do that. I love the way you coaches talk. Packing it in against a strong side hole man. That's what it's all about. Field goal shooting in the first half. Lincoln, almost 53%. You see why King has its woes right now, only 37%. That free throw shooting is the bugaboo. You can't shoot 35% from the line and win too many games, although I'm sure King has because of their offensive strength. 60% for Lincoln. They'd like to kick that up as well. Look at the rebounding totals. 18-16. Turnover-wise, East St. Louis Lincoln has got to protect that ball a little bit more in the first half and second half. Scoring-wise, Sylvester, as we said, with 8. McKinney with 7. Jackson with 7. Martin with only 6 again, but he's playing good defense as well, so it's spread out on the Tiger team. As far as Chicago King is concerned, Sharif has 8. Brandon with only 7, and Porter with 3. We're coming back for the start of the second half, but first, here's a message from the Country Companies, proud sponsors of the IHSA telecast since 1972. If you follow Illinois basketball at all, you know that Landon Cox, the coach of Chicago King, is a confident man. After yesterday's win in the quarterfinal round, he said, quote, "If my team plays as well as it can play, it has a chance to beat any team down here. And Simeon, Marshall, Dunbar, Vocational, and Robeson are as good as any team in the state's Elite 8. Let's see if he overlooked East St. Louis Lincoln. It is Sharif, Snipes, Jamie Brandon, Selvey, and also Porter in there. This shot won't go by Sharif. Ooh, Selvey had it blocked by Willis, I believe. Where did that hand come from? Selvey's got to pump fake and take the ball up stronger and anticipate that. The Tigers trying to go up by 8. Oh, by 11 if Jackson makes that, but not to be. But scrambling after the basketball is Cuonzo Martin. A little confusion in King's defense. He didn't know what I think he wants him in a man-to-man defense, and some folks were still playing his own. Jackson throws it up. Can't hit that one. That was a wild shot. Martin underneath the hole. He'll go up, and that's travel. Good call. Good call. Good defense by King, who kept their arms straight up, and Cuonzo had to come back down. Coach Cox is reminding Jamie Brandon that they're playing the 50, whatever the 50 is. Suspect it may be man-to-man at half court. Some pressure, but it's broken easily by Victor Snipes, wearing number 25. 2-3 Lincoln zone again. Ooh, Brandon and Sylvester bump out front. Down low, Selvey double team, spins and can't get it to fall, but he gets it back. That ball squirted out of the lane, and King gets a break and will be able to restart its offense. Brandon, oh no, he is cold. Rebound comes down to Mr. Willis. In a hurry is McKinney. He best wait for help. Jamie's just hesitating on his shot a little bit, and I think it's enough to throw him off. 3 St. Louis Lincoln. It's Sylvester, McKinney, Willis, Martin, Jackson. He just passed it off to the aforementioned McKinney. It is a King man-to-man defense. Cuonzo Martin blocked. That is goaltending. That is goaltending. As Damian Porter got up a little too late, that ball was definitely coming down. This shot here, Cuonzo posts up, moves to the inside, and then, of course, Selvey comes over and knocks it out of the cylinder. Goaltending, good call. 8-point Tiger lead. They're killing King softly, aren't they? Yes, they are. King is really struggling with an offensive rhythm here. They just can't get into anything. Here's a move inside, back to Brandon, and he will be fouled. Fred Schofield is checked back into the ball game now.
2 trips down the floor. King has gotten the ball into Selvey and have pulled up an empty bucket. Selvey got the 1 shot blocked and then missed the other shot. And that's got to be frustrating because they're giving him the ball inside.
Brandon, who averages 28 points a game and 7 rebounds, has been kept quiet by the Tiger defense so far, but a player of Brandon's caliber can click you off 20 in 1 8-minute span.
And you know the bench over there, the coaching staff with King is just waiting for that segment in this game where Jamie gets the hot hand. You know, you've been there with those great ball players. They just got to have a stretch in a ball game where they're unstoppable.
Again, the smaller lineup for Coach Landon Cox. Damian Porter is back on the bench. Snipes, Sharif, and Schofield are in the ball game.
You know, as poorly as King is playing, you're surprised they're in the ball game as well as they are.
That was a bad pass, and now they finally do pay the price as East St. Louis Lincoln turns it over. The other way, Brandon, hang and score. Doesn't take long.
About the 12th turnover. We said that's one of the reasons you can come back on East St. Louis Lincoln is they don't take care of the ball very well.
Oh, McKinney almost made a dangerous pass. He did it. Jackson got it back and scored. Well, that's pure athleticism there.
That's right. They answered it. They answered it.
Jackson now with 9 on the ball game. Schofield through traffic is fouled by Vincent Jackson.
Jackson or Sylvester? It is Jackson.
Against that pressure of King, if you just, what they force you to do with the long arms is lob the ball up over the first defender, and that plays right into their hands because they're so quick. That second layer of defenders is right there to bat it away or pick it off.
We'll come back. That's a good observation, Jim.
Brandon couldn't get it. Uh-oh, McKinney's 1-on-2. He'll get it across the way to Vincent Jackson. Hang time, no. Came up short and charged.
Good call, charge. The observation you made, oftentimes in zone trapping situations, you tell your answers. You see the replay here on the charge. He gets set and he takes it. And that's just good sound basketball to take that charge there. But you'll tell your ball players if you trap in that situation, you're not going to steal in the initial trap, but your teammate anticipating the pass is the one that's going to get the steal. And to make young people understand that defensively is critical in this game of basketball.
Down along the baseline, Brandon. Oh, that was playground time, and that gone in, and Brandon will go back to the line. While we get a chance, Coach, for all the people who are not familiar with the rules, describe when a basket counts on a charge and when it does not.
Here you come around here, Jamie drives it, Brandon drives the baseline so well, and again, he, like Cuonzo Martin, uses his body to protect the ball from the basket. Of course, he got the foul, but he did the smart thing. Jimmy threw the ball up while he was getting fouled. He got a chance it may go down.
Now, if Jackson had released that ball at the other end and it had gone in before he made contact.
Well, in that situation, high school basketball, now the rule is you can't award the basket. You can't award the basket when you charge. If you charge, you nullify the basket now. Years ago, years ago you could do that. Not too many years ago, you could still do that. You could award the basket, call the charge, and a lot of times you did that, and the official got out of it. You know, he made both coaches happy.
That's right. But no longer, and that's why I wanted you to clarify that. East St. Louis Lincoln struggled against that pressure, but they got it across the timeline. 4:47 remaining here in the third quarter. The Tigers and the Jaguars going at it. Right now, East St. Louis Lincoln has the lead. Ball tipped out of bounds by Sharif.
Of course, in college ball, you can award the basket and the charging foul. Only in high school.
The inbound to Willis, and Willis doesn't want to be in that corner, and he threw it out of bounds. Eventually tapped out by Jamie Brandon.
If you're an East St. Louis Lincoln fan, you can't be happy with the way this game is unfolding because your team's playing pretty well, and yet King is hanging right in there.
Sharif Ford in the ball game gets it to McKinney. A tough baseline turnaround. With all that timber in there, that's a tough shot to make.
Yes, it is, and McKinney showed you they can go inside and score as well as his outside.
King trailing by 6 again. This is Brandon. Hang. No, it won't go. Tipped up Selvey now. Ball kicked out of there, and a foul on the Jaguars. Could be Brandon.
Brandon may be getting a little frustrated right now with his offense. Things just aren't falling for him, and he was over the back there on that foul.
So Jamie Brandon now picks up his second personal foul. Willis, who fouled moments ago, has 3. He fouled out yesterday, you might recall. And against King, you got to have Willis into the whole game.
Exactly. Little diamond in one press, token more than anything by King. Now they're back to their man-to-man defense.
Sylvester and Snipes showing you why high school basketball is so tough to play, because of the defense. Traveling called on Snipes eventually. Sonny Cox says, no, man, he got rid of it before he rolled over. And I quote.
And he may be right.
Oh, that's a terrible pass. Sylvester made a bad pass, and Snipes will cruise on home. That's one of those passes when you throw it, you're hesitating.
You wish you hadn't thrown it.
Ford gets it back out to Sylvester. The Tigers need to stabilize. They get it out front to Willis, and he won't hit it. Ball tipped back and scored. A rebound by Jamie Brandon.
Feel a run coming on here, Jim.
Brandon trying to cut it to 2. Turned it over. Turned it over. In college, I don't think that call would have been forthcoming.
Big-time college move.
It really was.
Big-time college move.
So the Tigers survive that trip down. Willis gets it down low off the
turnover
post.
situation. You got 15 for Lincoln and 8 for King.
Johnny Selvey thought that Willis kicked that off his leg, but not to be. You know, Willis took that shot, and I believe that is the first shot he's taken this entire tournament.
It looked like it might go.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go. What a bonus that would have been for Benny Lewis.
Big one.
Cuonzo Martin, he's been a little quiet offensively. Well, takes the pick, and he is not fouled. They're going to call an illegal pick on Ronald Willis, and that is 4.
You got that right. He was in foul trouble yesterday, and they can ill afford to lose a big body like that. Let's check out the pick here by Willis. He comes up. Evidently, they felt that he was moving, or he didn't give the guy enough room. I don't know.
Again, that's 4 on Willis. That was a tough call to make.
It was a tough call to make.
Jamie Brandon will march the other way and try to get King back to within 2. You don't sense any urgency on the King bench.
No, you really don't. And with 3:11 to go, they're in the bonus situation already. That's got to be something you like if you can hit them.
Well, Brandon's starting to get that eye back from 15 feet away.
And I noticed in the stat sheet that they shoot 84% from the free throw line on the year.
Well, I'd like to send those stats to MIT and get them looked at again. But if in fact they do shoot 84% from the field, that's about the best high school percentage I've seen.
It is very good.
East St. Louis Lincoln now trying to avoid the turnover bugaboo. That's what almost did him in yesterday against Aurora East. Rico Sylvester trying to find some opening. He finds one. In and out. Rebound underneath Martin. Yeah. Big rebound.
Martin came up with a big play there, right. And Sylvester was really forcing his own offense in that situation.
10 now for Cuonzo Martin. Brandon looks for an opening. If there is one, he'll find it, believe me. 2:36 remaining here in the third quarter. Jim Albrecht, now Rustio.
2-3
Make
zone.
that Rustio, coach.
Okay.
I mean, what the heck?
We've been called a lot of things.
Long jumper, Brandon. That's got too much iron. Tip, no. Foul underneath. Will it be Selvey or will it be East St. Louis Lincoln? It looks like Sharif Ford will pick up the personal.
Ford was over the back of Selvey, I believe. Check the shot here. The jumper on the baseline. Selvey has inside position. You'll see Ford go over the back as Selvey tries to tip it up and in. So it's going to be Selvey at the free throw line.
Well, if you're playing Chicago King and you had a genie around in the pregame locker room, you would rub the lamp and say, please don't let Jamie Brandon shoot like he always does.
Right. And he hasn't, and he hasn't.
That's right. Selvey can't make the free throw. Rebound, Brandon up and in. We could have a three-point play.
Something like that now can really ignite a team like King. You know, I said a few minutes ago, I feel a run coming on here. There's a missed free throw, and you see Jamie get inside position just quickly. He just didn't do a good job of boxing him out on the free throw line there. And he came into the lane and got it. That's the old-fashioned three-point play he's going for, and Willis just fouled out.
I thought they called that on Sharif Ford, but they called it on Willis, and boy, that's a big call. That is a big call.
That's unfortunate. You know, you hate to see a youngster foul out of a game. It could be of championship quality. certainly when it's not his foul.
Well, I'd like to see it again. He may indeed have fouled him, but Brandon beat Ford to the block to get the rebound.
Yeah, maybe Jerry can cue it back up, but I think that I don't think it was Willis at all that fouled. Well, certainly.
At any rate, the big man for East St. Louis Lincoln, all 6'8", 235 pounds of him, is gone, and there are still over 10 minutes left.
Big loss.
Brandon gets the three-pointer. And we've got a timeout on the floor, and it's down to a one-point ball game. Lincoln holds the edge. Let's pause for these messages. Going back to that fifth foul situation on Ronald Willis, it was not Sharif Ford in the block down low on the right side of your screen. It was indeed Ronald Willis. The call is correct, and a good one by the official.
Yes, it was. We stand corrected. It was Willis's fifth foul.
So Willis is gone. And a turnover out front. Snipes gets it up ahead. Schofield can't get it to fall. Rebound comes down to McKinney. Marco Harris is in the ball game now for East St. Louis Lincoln, wearing number 13. Sylvester can't get it to fall, and Ford can't save it as it goes out of bounds. Again, number 13 is Marco Harris for East St. Louis Lincoln. We have not seen him yet in this tournament, but he's coming into a pressure cooker, that's for sure.
Well, you're going to see it really up-tempo now. I think you're going to see both teams in the next 7 minutes, or next 9 minutes, put on a lot of heat.
It's saved back to McKinney. No, and a charge, man.
Good call.
Picking up. It's picking up.
Good call. Gutty play by Snipes. Snipes has had some big defensive plays in this ball game, Jim. He's a gutty kid. He's smart and he's quick to get to his defensive positioning.
You can always tell how Chicago King is playing by the look on Sonny Cox's face, and that time he's not real happy yet. Uh-oh, Brandon's open on the wing. That's a shot. Jamie Brandon buried it. And King has the lead, 39-38, and now East St. Louis Lincoln throws it away. Brandon to the hole and a charge. That time Jamie Brandon did something he rarely does. He made a mistake. He had two men open on the wing.
Exactly right. He should have dumped this ball when he came in from the left side, and I know that.
You know where that mistake stemmed from? Him burying that jumper on the wing.
Yeah, a little bit too hungry right here, but he had two guys wide open on the opposite side of the lane from him, and he just simply bullheaded it in there and got the charge.
Snipes is going to give Sylvester a nightmare in the back court. Sylvester breaks it down, tipped away from behind by Snipes. Jump ball. And let's see where the arrow's pointing. It's going to stay with the Tigers.
And by doing so, they just avoid another turnover.
Benny Lewis is having that same feeling in his stomach that he had yesterday during the fourth quarter against Aurora East. That's called the turnover stomach. Pepto-Bismol doesn't do a thing for it. And now a timeout.
There's a timeout you don't like to use, too, in that situation. 1:15 to go in the third quarter, and you can't get the ball inbounds.
We'll be back after this from one of your network sponsors, John Deere. 39-38 is our score. Chicago King has grabbed the lead on a Jamie Brandon jumper from the left wing. 1 minute and 15 seconds remain here, as you can see in the third quarter. The winner goes on to the championship game, the loser to the consolation. Lincoln has hit 55% on the year as compared to 50 today. King 60 on the year, only 36% today. But, Coach, they've got the lead. Sharif Ford turn around, got it. I wonder how much confidence that game-ending shot yesterday against Aurora East gives a 17-year-old.
Well, I'm sure it gave him a lot of confidence.
This is Brandon. This is good.
He's in a rhythm now. You know, he just hit from the left side. Now he came down, hit from the right side, and they're letting him catch and step into his shot.
Harris fouled in the backcourt by Snipes. I mean, you've got a guy, Marco Harris, in the lineup now, who obviously hasn't gotten a lot of playing time for East St. Louis Lincoln this year.
They're still not in the bonus situation, so it wasn't a crucial foul or a serious foul.
McKinney wants some help, but can't find it yet. Look at that defense by Schofield. Oh, tough D out front. Coming to help out was Ford, wisely so. Ford will penetrate. Get it over to Martin. And a blocking
Good foul.
And a blocking
Good foul.
Boy, Sharif can get up, can he?
Oh, he really can jump. Yeah.
He can change the scoreboard numbers from here.
Selvey was trying to get position. He did the right thing defensively, but he just didn't get there in time. Simple as that. Here you see the offensive ball player come to the basket, Cuonzo Martin, and Selvey's just not there in time.
Sonny Cox just yelled at the official, "You're killing me." Martin pulls up beauty. A beauty for Cuonzo Martin. Just give him a little space and he'll make that one move that gets himself open.
Kid can play an off guard in big time ball, can he?
He will. 12 points for Cuonzo Martin. East St. Louis Lincoln with the lead. Jumper not this time. Sylvester high for the rebound. Ooh, almost a good steal at the other end by Victor Snipes, who is everywhere. And speaking of great defense, if you want to see a player who hasn't been blessed with a lot of God-given talent, but just plays it so close to the heart, then watch the Rock Island Peoria Central game and Chris Allison, because he's everywhere.
Yes, he is.
And a turnover out front. Marco Harris couldn't control it.
Turnovers are going to drive the Lincoln fans crazy here this fourth quarter, I'm afraid. They're just turning the ball over too often.
Oh, almost a turnover there, but Schofield came up with it, and does he beat the clock? No, he doesn't. Woo, it was awful close, and we are still close after 3 quarters of play. The Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln lead Chicago King 42-41. Here's a message from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers. Well, some folks around Assembly Hall think that even though it's a semifinal game, this will be the championship game. Rock Island and Peoria Central will have something to say about that way of thought. But right now, 8 minutes remain. East St. Louis Lincoln hanging on to the lead, and hanging on is the key word here, Coach, because they cannot turn it over, and they have a young guard court right now in Marco Harris and also Rico Sylvester, although Sylvester is used to the pressure, but they've got to stay away from those turnovers if they want to win, and of course King wants to create those turnovers.
You got it on target.
Sharif, Snipes, Jamie Brandon, Selvey, and Schofield in the ball game. Jump shot is not anywhere close by King, and look out now, Marco Harris. There he does the wise thing and gets it back to Rico Sylvester. He cleared it out and then waited.
Kings in their man-to-man defense, putting as much pressure on as they possibly can.
Let's see how much time East St. Louis Lincoln wants to take here. McKinney trying to find a pick from Martin, but it's not there.
Martin posting up on Selvey, Jim.
Look at Sharif, will you? Sharif made the call, but it was not the correct call, according to the official.
Martin has really watched the battle inside between Martin and Selvey. Martin's trying to post him up. And that's probably where East St. Louis should go with the basketball.
Sylvester looking for Cuonzo, who shakes his head no. It's not here. Better hurry, better hurry. There it is. Shot up. Good.
They continue to do that, they're going to be all right. Take care of the ball and get the ball inside, then to Cuonzo, they're going to be okay.
14 for Mr. Martin. Uh-oh, tough call, tough call. Rico Sylvester tried to set up in front of Mr. Snipes, and the reason I say it was a tough call is watch Snipes' arm. You cannot ward off a man. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that may be the correct call. I don't know if Sylvester had the feet planted. That's why
he was set.
That's why you have officials, because that's the toughest call in the game as far as I'm concerned, the charge. Ahmad Sharif. A star on anyone else's team, according to Sonny Cox.
You bet. Great defense.
An all-stater on anyone else's team if he weren't buried by all the press that Mr. Selvey and Brandon get. 6:53 remaining. King trails by 2 and now 1.
Let's see if East St. Louis remembers what their instructions were during the quarter break, and that was to get the ball inside, I'm sure, to Cuonzo Martin.
McKinney double team, waits nicely for Sylvester. Over to Harris, down low to Ford, and he's fouled. They moved the ball real well that time.
Ford took it right to Selvey, and Selvey, of course, fouled him, so Ford now goes to the free throw line with a couple.
Ford, a 60% shooter on the year. get it to the middle. They wait for Sylvester. That's the key here, and then kick it off on the wing. Boom.
A little token press in the back court. And they're probably better to when they're going just full court man and double teaming out of it.
Johnny Selvey with his third personal. Again, Ronald Willis, the center for Lincoln, out with 5. Ford gets it. I'll tell you what, if Sharif Ford beats the buzzer again today, might as well deify it.
That's right. He knows that his ball comes here because of his shot last night.
Ford, who averages 8 per game, now has 6 in the state steps. And again, they keep King down by 3.
Diamond in 1 zone press by East St. Louis Lincoln.
2-on-2 zone defense in the half court. Brandon with Sylvester all over him, and Sylvester doesn't want to pick up another foul yet. Remember that.
You know, the difference in this ball game, too, has been East St. Louis Lincoln has a better inside game than does Chicago Kings.
Yeah, which will surprise a lot of people. Brandon. He is money. He is money. You can defense that shot all you want, but when the man has a leap like that.
Oh, he's got a great vertical.
1-point game again. Harris out front.
Watch Martin and Selvey battling there.
He's open there. Martin, though, wisely kicks it back out. Now down low to Ford, who tried to post up, lost the handle, gets it back, and stepped out of bounds and traveled. You might be able to pick that up. That's the voice of Sonny Cox. Get up on your man. Now he calls out black as far as the offense. They have a code for one offense is black, one offense is white, and I believe the other one offense is 50.
That's right. That's right.
Brandon trying for the lead, hangs, won't get it. Sharif Ford has the rebound, and Sonny Cox wanted a foul call
there.
East St. Louis Lincoln comes down with the lead in the basketball. Still a lot of time left. 5:25. Out front, McKinney. McKinney hasn't had the kind of offensive day that he had yesterday, and now he creates the turnover.
The turnovers have to be approaching the 20 figure again.
Yeah, I really think they should have 2 descriptions of turnovers in basketball. One, a plain turnover created by the defense, and then like in tennis, the uncommitted.
Forced and unforced turnovers, right. And that one right there would probably be an unforced turnover.
Correct.
Because there's no great pressure there. And those kill you, the unforced ones.
Snipes gets it in the middle to Selvey.
It's going to be the perimeter game of Jamie Brandon, and the inside game of Cuonzo Martin is going to decide this ball game.
Now they'll run Brandon up top now, and they go low, and Snipes can't get it to fall, but he is fouled. He is fouled by Cuonzo Martin.
Okay, see Sharif posting up, going the baseline, and the foul called on Cuonzo.
He put that hip on Cuonzo and spun around him. Cuonzo now with 3, and King with a chance to take the lead. Ahmad Sharif. Yesterday he scored 9 of King's first 20 points as they went out on that early run. Game tie. 46-46.
Those free throws now. How big they become this time of the game.
King shooting for the lead. We'll have to see if in fact they get it, what effect it has on the Tigers, who have led most of the game. Well, we're tied. Vincent Jackson, who's been quiet lately, he's been very defensive.
He's been very silent this half, Jim.
Man-to-man defense. Here's Jackson.
Ford trying to post up on Jamie.
Ooh, look at this move. Look at this shot. Not going to fall, though. Rebound Ford back up. No. Ball tip controlled. McKinney, yeah.
That's just wanting it on the offensive board. There's 3 attempts. When you get that many shots at the basket, you usually come away with points.
Even with Johnny Selvey in there, the Tigers came away with it. They get it across the timeline. Brandon, jumper, no. Rebound, Sylvester on the break. Martin, Jackson, Martin, count it.
Excellent. Nice, fast break.
Timeout, Chicago Kings.
Move the ball quickly up the floor, look for one another, and just cut the defender to ribbons back there, Jim.
Martin has 16. East St. Louis Lincoln has the lead. 4:04 remains. Let's pause for these messages. What a break the last time down the floor by East St.
Beautifully
Louis
executed.
Lincoln.
King is shooting too quickly here. They're forcing their offense, but you see the ball's kicked out here by their point guard, and Vincent Jackson and Cuonzo Martin just execute a perfect 2-on-1 fast break.
Snipes felt like a man in the desert without a drop of water. There was nowhere to go. In the first half, of course, Lincoln shot 53%. They picked up on it in the second half. The Chicago Kings shooting even more poorly, and now a turnover in the backcourt. Well, if East St. Louis Lincoln gets a bucket here, they're going to be feeling awful good about things. And now's when you take your time and you look for Martin, if at all possible. But I'll tell you one thing, Sharif Ford is not shy about posting up and taking it to the hole.
He does. He posted there. He's going to get a chance at it right now.
A shot. Not there. Whew, it wasn't the wisest of all shots in the world.
King has to be patient and not come up with an empty bucket here. They've got to take their time and go inside, even if it's with the penetration and drive. But they've got to get points here.
I didn't really think Ford would fire it up from there. I thought they might need a little bit more time. Oh, Snipes with a pretty pass to Selvey, and that's in the bank.
That's what you have to do. You got to be patient and penetrate and find the big guy. You can't live outside. Even though Jamie Brandon's a great shooter, you got to be patient and come up with something in the critical stages of this game.
Contact out front. In the middle, Martin. Martin is fouled by Selvey. And I was just about to say that Selvey, that's the man they really held in check. Brandon now has 24. Brandon averages 28. But Selvey came in averaging 22, and he has but 4 points in this game. Speaking of 4, that's the personal foul count as well.
He doesn't post up as hard. He started the game out in the first quarter posting real hard. He didn't get the ball, and now he hasn't been posting very well at all.
Well, I'll say it again. If Sharif Ford gets the last-second shot and wins it, I'm running out of here immediately after the game and buying a lottery ticket, because something strange is going on.
See, that's a sad thing about her, the dilemma that a coach can get in when you got a great perimeter shooter like Jamie Brandon that puts it up so freely, and you got a post player like a Selvey. If they post early and don't get the ball because the shooter's putting them up, then they quit posting.
You don't have to tell Martin that every trip to the charity stripe now is mucho important. 3 minutes remaining now in the game, at least in regulation. This half, Martin is 5 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Brandon for 3, that's going to be short. Rebound comes back to Brandon. He'll make this count. That was fortunate for Chicago King, because what happened was the Tigers simply lost the rebound. They were so aggressive that they couldn't come up with it as more than one mate scrambled for it. Vincent Jackson, who's been real quiet, goes inside to McKinney. Post up, turns, no. Rebound forward, back up, good.
Big bucket. Selvey didn't do a very good job of screening Ford off the offensive board, and that's costly, and there's a turnover.
Another one, and now East St. Louis Lincoln will sit on it for a while. And land it. Oh, now it's taken away again. Snipes up ahead to Brandon. Look out. I thought he was going to jam it, but he opted for the sure thing.
4 in a row, fellas. We've had 4 barn burners in a row here.
And now we're down to the 2-minute mark as Brandon sets at 28 points for the game. Sylvester left open, but only for a while. Now in low to Martin, puts it up and hits it. A tough half hook.
They're going to their money ball player here. When the game's on the line, they're going to go to Mr. Money, Mr. Clutch.
Well, he's 6 for 6 here in the second half. He's sitting at 20 points, and the lead is back to 4 for the Tigers. 1:35 remaining. Brandon's going to force everybody's hand. That shot won't count. He'll go to the free throw line.
Tell you what, Cuonzo Martin is playing with a lot of emotion, too, a lot of determination. You can see it on his face.
I wouldn't be surprised if you got a call from LaFonso Ellis sometime this week and said, well, come on, we have 2, we can do 3, can't we? That's the Notre Dame way.
You know, I was thinking a little bit ago, whichever one of these teams survives or prevails, they're going to play with a lot of emotion tonight. If it's East St. Louis, they're going for an unprecedented 3rd championship in a row. If it's Chicago King, they're going for not only the title of the state, but on the heels of the city title, and they're second in, what, 4 years?
Correct.
So a lot of emotion. Of course, if it's Chuck Fisher's Peoria Central Ball Club, state rated #1 and undefeated. Wow.
That hasn't happened in AA ball since 1981, a perfect season. That was Jerry Leggett. And this is only 1 of 2 for Jamie Brandon. Boy, tough miss. The difference is 3. Well, if you weren't awake when you joined us, I think you're awake now. At least I am. Vincent Jackson.
He's saying Louis is in a freeze. All-out freeze, I believe.
Jackson almost lost the handle. Now, here's a wise pass to get out of trouble all the way across the way to McKinney. Let's see, they may be forced to foul here, Coach.
Yeah, they may.
I don't think East St. Louis Lincoln is going to take a shot here unless they have
the basket.
Oh, boy, that's a dangerous pass. You don't want to pass it that close.
You don't want to bring trouble to your defender. They got somebody wide open underneath the basket.
There's the foul by Schofield.
Well, that's what's critical. You've got to look inside. You have to attack the basket if they're going to pull the goalie, as they say. You've got to go back there, back door.
We've got a timeout. You see Schofield give the signal. East St. Louis Lincoln is coming back with a mighty big trip to the line. Now this from one of your network sponsors, Country Companies. Talk about your pressure and talk about your double and triple teaming. Somebody's got to be open.
Well, yeah, and you know, you get in a habit, or you get in a fall into a bad pattern here, playing sideline to sideline. You got Ford wide open underneath the basket here, and the guards are playing cross court instead of looking at the basket and attacking.
Vincent Jackson looked up and saw him for just a brief second, and I think he changed his mind. And that'll happen when you're playing against King because, hey, you've made cross-court passes earlier in the day, and suddenly they were picked off. But, again, it's easier from here than it is out there.
But the thing you got to practice and can be concerned about is when you're in a delay situation, you're delaying, but yet you're penetrating and going towards the basket.
Jackson only 53% on the year. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. King has the rebound. Jamie Brandon will come down, and you see the time on the right side of your screen. Brandon all the way to the hole. Nobody's going to stop him. 56-55.
East St. Louis may have been just a little bit too conservative not to foul.
Snipes will try to get it away from Sylvester. Uh-oh, Sylvester's in trouble. And he's fouled from behind by Brandon, who cannot think it's reality.
It's not a real bad foul. I know he didn't want that situation, but he's going to go to the free throw line. He makes both of them. There's still one three-pointer away from a tie.
Sonny Cox wants to freeze Mr. Sylvester. We've got a timeout on the floor. Let's pause. Whew, what a game for these messages. You mentioned, Coach, last time down that East St. Louis Lincoln might have been a little bit tentative on defense.
Well, I think you had a tendency to say your kids during a timeout, don't foul anybody if we got the lead, and yet you've got to cut off the driver, and you've got to make people shoot from outside. You've got to play that good defense.
That was a nice pick there by Selvey.
Yes, it was.
Sylvester, 80% on the year, but none bigger. He's a senior. He's been there before, and he got it. That puts it up to 2.
Of course, this is a big one because it puts the pressure on King's shoulders to get the 3. If not a field goal counting 2 and a quick steal.
Sylvester has 9. He now has 10. East St. Louis Lincoln has a 3-point lead, but remember, King has Jamie Brandon. A 3-pointer to him, nothing. Sharif. Snipes will just take it all the way down, give it up to Selvey, who got the bucket, and King wants another timeout. King wants another timeout. Did they get it? Whoa. The official said yes, they got it, although the Tigers had already inbounded. Benny Lewis says, hey, the ball was inbounded. You can't call timeout.
Well, he got the timeout regardless.
And we will keep it right here on the Assembly Hall floor. Benny Lewis not happy at all.
Here's King breaking East St. Louis's diamond in one press. And, of course, Vincent Jackson is now following Jamie Brandon a little bit more closely one-on-one. There may have been a little, no, I thought maybe there was a little travel there by Selvey, but there wasn't.
And again, good hands by Selvey. He was turning around, caught it with the left hand. Now, why Benny Lewis is upset is very simple. He doesn't want King's defense to set up on the out-of-bounds play.
And of course, King's going to set up and put the, I would think they'd come, their 50 is their half-court man-to-man, so I assume if he's telling him to come out 100%, he's going to get him 100% man-to-man everywhere.
Let's take a look at that timeout situation again.
Okay,
the basket will be made by Selvey. He's calling timeout
early.
Yeah, so basically it was just not a quick timeout call by the official.
Kid requested it quickly.
He sure did. Here we go. Frank Pisoni says the official didn't have the whistle in his mouth, and that's why the whistle wasn't blown at that time. Well, here we go. East St. Louis Lincoln needs to get it inbounds. Martin will call timeout. He'll call timeout wisely, and that's exactly what Benny Lewis told him to do. If you can't get it in, take another tee. So that gives us time to remind you that coming up next, Chuck Bisher's undefeated Peoria Central team will go up against Duncan Reed's Nasty Rocks. They played defense like it was meant to be played. Whether they can shut down Central, we don't know, because they have played Central once this year. That was in Peoria. They lost by 19. The Rocks' biggest loss of the year. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll be back, of course, with the consolation game, when we kick that off with, before the tip-off at 6 o'clock, some highlights of some of the outstanding players here in the tournament and some outstanding juniors when you talk about that. And let's thank our network sponsors again, because without them, we couldn't bring this to you. The Country Companies, the Illinois pork producers, and John Deere. They, of course, are proud to be a part of this telecast. They hope you're enjoying the action. And if you're not, go see your optometrist.
If you're not a basketball fan.
That's right.
As that. This is high school basketball at its very best.
Well, you can see why Mr. Lewis was a little bit upset with the timeout call, but we talked about why it wasn't made exactly when it was called, but King did call it exactly when they had to. Let's go. Martin gets it out just in time. McKinney in the backcourt. McKinney is fouled by Snipes. Tough call.
McKinney, good shooter here. I would think that Benny Lewis would like to see this young man on the free throw line. He's a veteran ball player, one of the better shooters.
Victor Snipes picks up his 4th personal foul. At this point, that doesn't really matter. East St. Louis Lincoln leading that man's team by 1 point, 58-57. We'll let the picture tell you how it goes. How do you feel, Mr. McKinney? This one's just as important. Remember,
just as important, but a little less pressure.
3-pointers are the current rage, especially when you have to come back late.
18 seconds left in this one, Jim.
Got them both. Here comes Chicago King. If they want to win the state championship, they have to convert this time down, and it better be a 3. Snipes in a hurry. Snipes trying to get it to Brandon. 8 seconds. Brandon needs the 3. Here it is. No. Tip controlled. Underneath the Schofield. He's fouled. No bucket. No bucket. A foul with 3 seconds left. Schofield will go to the line, and this leads to all kinds of possibilities. Make the first one, miss the second.
You do have all kinds of possibilities, but that's the first one that you got to think of if you're East St. Louis Lincoln. You got to think, well, if they make the first one, they may intentionally miss the second one here.
They went to the money man. Jamie Brandon. He missed it. Schofield was back up, and I don't know, in that kind of situation, Coach, your coach is saying kick it back outside for the other 3, but that's easier
the old-fashioned 3 too. You're right there. You got to get a point.
Schofield needs the first one. He's got to have that. He didn't get it. He didn't get it. This game's over. This game is over. East St. Louis Lincoln has done it. They have defeated Chicago King. There are several reasons why Landon Sonny Cox will not try for his 2nd state championship in 4 years. Coach, you got to start with Cuonzo Martin.
Well, Cuonzo Martin down the stretch of the ball game. When the ball game was in the balance, Jim, East St. Louis Lincoln went to their money man. They posted Cuonzo Martin low. He caught the ball low, and he delivered for him with a couple of key baskets, and also went to the free throw line to make some free throws. East St. Louis plagued with its turnovers. Still in all, Chicago King plagued with the free throw line. And again, I think the big difference in this ball game was that East St. Louis had an inside offensive attack, whereas Chicago King did not have that good inside offensive attack.
Also, Some very important trips to the free throw line. Rico Sylvester had 2 free throws. He buried them both. Then, of course, with under 20 seconds remaining, Christopher McKinney had the 1-and-1. He buried them both.
Chris McKinney had the big free throws in this ball game, and as I said when he was fouled, you know, that's the kind of kid that if you're his coach, you want to see him go to the free throw line. He's a shooter, he's a confident offensive ball player, and he went there and stroked both of them home, and that they were the big points. But you know, you made a comment during the ball game that you never did sense an urgency in King's facial expressions out there and their attitude, like they were going to win all along somewhere with an outside three-pointer, and I felt that even right down to the last three-pointer that they attempted.
I thought Brandon's shot would probably go if all went according to the way King has played all year. Of course, they got that great shot in the Chicago Public League playoffs by Mr. Brandon that actually carried them into that game against Simeon, which they won by 10. And again, to quote Mr. Sonny Cox, the city championship is the game. Well, he may have won the game, but the game tonight will not feature Chicago King.
East St. Louis Lincoln is in. Can you imagine the emotions that those young people are going to play with when you consider they're going for that unprecedented 3rd consecutive Class 2A title?
And of course, if Peoria Central should beat Rock Island, and the emphasis is on the if, they will be favored coming out here. I think we have to be honest about that. But when you have, what, 3 teams left for a state championship, how do you favor anybody?
That's right.
That's the question.
You're going to have a classic confrontation.
If they should pull it off. Of course, if the Rocks pull it off, then you've got another formula shaping up here at the Assembly Hall. What a ball game.
4 incredible ball games, Jim. 4 of them in a row.
Right in a row. Yesterday, of course, King knocked off Thornridge 63-46. That was the only widespread ball game. But then East St. Louis Lincoln defeated Aurora East as Sharif Ford beat the buzzer. I'll never forget that as long as I may live. 72-70. Then Chicago Heights Bloom and Brandon Cole almost knocked off Peoria Central. 62-61 though. Central came back and did what they had to do to keep that undefeated season rolling at 31-0. And Rocky knocked off Winnetka New Trier 52-47 in another tight ball game that went back and forth. And now here, our first game of the semifinals boils down to the last seconds, and King falls to East St. Louis Lincoln by a count of 60-57. Man. In just a few seconds, we are going to hear the band that is entertaining here during the semifinals and the finals here at Assembly Hall. They are from Barrington High School, and if Bill Geist is out there anyway, our former analyst, we want to say hello to him, the former coach at Barrington. Now let's go to the band.
The leading scorer was Jamie Brandon with 31 points. Here are the totals for East St. Louis Lincoln. Sharif Ford with 6. Rico Sylvester with 10. Vincent Jackson had 9. Chris McKinney with 13 points. And the leading scorer was Cuonzo Martin with 22 points. East St. Louis Lincoln will take a record of 20.